Bum, 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 bum.
Kilted
Kilted
Balls!
boss.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey! Hey, people, welcome back to the Kilted Balls podcast. So glad to have you joining us. We've been getting lots of action on our YouTube minis. It seems like people are liking that.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's weird. Like, I have no idea why some of them are really popular and some of them nobody cares about. It must be how we're tagging them or what the
I don't
title
know.
is.
I think it's if you do it or if I do it.
No,
But
because I've had a bad one. So,
I do have one I was gonna make today. I just didn't have a chance. Today's crazy busy, so let me start now. Hello. This is
there you go. Do
Kilted
it right
Dragon
now.
Chair from the Kilted Boss podcast. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you did not know, you cannot open a long and a short on KuCoin at the same time
What?
because it messes up and then you end up losing money you didn't realize.
Um, I thought we went over that lesson a long, long, long time ago.
I forgot.
A long, long time ago.
hmm I accidentally closed one of them because I was like, "Ooh, I have this little, I'm gonna get in this little short, like, or I had my short that wasn't going well, but I'm
Yeah,
like, you know what? I feel this long is gonna be good, and so I did the long, and then I was like, and I wasn't sure if it's because I was driving, but it didn't work, so I was like, okay, well, let me, do this again. I changed the percentage
yeah,
and it didn't work again, but I kept clicking my little hourglass and nothing was coming up. So I'm like, I didn't show because the short to close the short, you click close short,
right,
but I was
right,
clicking long, but it I don't know what happened. So when I closed the long, then the short, then because it wasn't actively showing all the money added together, it was just
right.
showing the long was. So when I closed the long at a 10% profit, I ended up having a 50% loss.
Yes. And I remember doing that before, which, by the way, one of the nice things about bots, people, is you can have a long and a short with a bot.
Yes, you can.
The bots don't care, but you can't do it with your futures. I think you can do it with both, right? Yeah,
The bots, I believe
I
so.
think so.
But
So
yeah, I just wanted to make that public service announcement. So this episode's gonna crush all sorts of records.
yeah, for sure. That's a great public service. So what I'm most excited about is I've been super skittish lately with our day trading. I've been making small gains, just real tiny gains, putting it in the Discord, but skittish. And I've been calling a lot of things, going, I think this is going to happen, but I'm too skittish. And last night was probably my luckiest bad call I think I've made.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen and I'll try to describe it for people on Anchor. So I drew a pattern yesterday, and Kilted and I were talking. And if you can see my screen, you can see I've drawn this like triangle, right? Can you see the
Mm-hmm.
triangle, Kilted?
I can see it.
Right. And so right where my mouse is, right here where it hit the top, I was like, it's at the
Mm-hmm.
top of my triangle. I'm gonna short, I'm gonna short Bitcoin. And no, it was right here. So it went up here, came down, went up, and I go, I'm going to short Bitcoin. And I
Mm-hmm.
click short. We get this red candle. I'm feeling super smart, and freaking Bitcoin pumps. And it pumps all the way up to my stop loss. And I'm like, okay, it's gonna stop loss out. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
screw it. That's why we have stop losses. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel good about myself. I set my stop losses and I left the room and I said, I feel bad. I'm going to lose my money and, whatever, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk away. And then when I wake up this morning, first off, I look at my KuCoin and it's like, yep, you have no positions. I'm like, see, I knew I got stopped off. And then I looked and I wasn't logged into KuCoin. So that happens sometimes on my phone. So I'm like, oh, I'll log in, and it logs in, and yep, I have no position.
Yeah,
And I'm
isn't it
like,
great? You log back in and you have to click OK for all the things on how to trade again.
yes, yeah, oh, it's just great. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, I'm out of my position, and I like look at it, and freaking it had skyrocketed overnight. And so if you're looking at this pattern here, you can
Mm-hmm.
see it jumped high, went down, jumped crazy high again, and just completely obliterated my pattern. So it went way up, and I was like, dang it. Well, that sucks because it dropped right back down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here it went way below my pattern. So
Yeah.
I was like, I would have actually made my profit. And I'm like, well, you know what? I should at least check and see how much money I lost. So I clicked to see how much money I lost, and I made 20%.
That is so awesome.
And I was like, I made 20%. I'm like, what happened with my stop loss? And what I forgot is futures don't exactly follow the market.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't follow the market. So I'm looking at trading view at the actual market, and KuCoin has its own perpetual that it uses. And so it did wick multiple times way past my stop loss, but the futures didn't match the wick. And
That's
so it went
awesome.
up here, it didn't hit my stop loss, and then when it dropped down, it sold it for 20%, which is what my take profit was. And so
That's super awesome.
I was feeling pretty good. Now, right now, personally, people, I'm not feeling really good. I just made a trade. Kilted was on here, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm doing this trade. And I clicked it, and it went instantly to 4% profit. And I was like, yeah, 4%. I'm like, it's going to go to the moon, and I'm going to make all of this money. And right now, it was just at negative 17%.
Oh,
so
man.
so really fast like yay moment, and then a really like fast oh no moment. So
Bet you didn't take your 4% and run.
I could have taken my 4%. Now in reality, I don't know if I was fast enough, right? Sometimes when the market's
Yeah.
volatile, you can't like catch that.
That
Uh,
happened to me earlier. I went to close at, I think it was a five, it was just a 5% because like I was in it for a little bit and the market and the stochastics weren't doing what I thought that they would do. Like
right.
it curled back. So I clicked it, but by the time it logged off, I lost $5 instead of gaining $5.
Dang
It
it. Yeah,
was so fast.
you got to be kind of careful with it. You know, market moves fast, especially with these altcoins, right?
Hmm.
And so that's this altcoin is jumping right now. Now, I haven't set my stop loss yet. I haven't set my take profit. I just got into it. You can and you probably should set it all right away.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I don't do it right away because a lot of times when I'm jumping in on those, it's really volatile at that moment. So I
Yes.
kind of wait 5 or 10 minutes to let it irk out where it's at, and then I feel more comfortable with where my stop loss is and where my profit is.
Hmm.
So, like I just said, that one was at 4% positive, then it was negative 17. Like it's doing some big jumps. And if you're like, holy cow, the market moves that fast, no, it's because I'm leveraging, right? You got to
Yes.
remember that
Hmm.
I'm playing a risk game. So
Yep.
I'm doing a 20x trade right now, and so I'm pretty high leveraged. So if it goes up 1%, to me that's 20%. So when it
Yes.
just said 17, that just means it went down like, not even 1% to a
And
normal
and
person.
I'm glad I did not open that Bitcoin trade when we started because nothing's happening.
Right. Well,
So
and
that's good.
that's the other reason why I'm not worried about this trade.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, yeah, it's down like 17, but you know what? If Bitcoin's not going up, this one is not going to go up.
Yeah, it's just moving sideways, so you're
Right.
all good.
So this one's either going to just chill or it's eventually going to drop, and I'm not worried. And I'm hoping, my hope is that during our episode, like all
Hmm.
of a sudden I'll be like, hey, this just hit 20% and I made 20%, yay! And
That'd
you
be
guys can
awesome.
all like sharing my excitement.
Hmm.
I'm not going to hold my breath, right? Like it's not
Yes.
doing anything right now. So the volatility kind of dropped a little bit, so we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, so it's hard because we do a lot of minis, but we've been doing a lot of interesting things. One interesting thing that we've been playing with that we actually got from Crypto Lifer is I've been doing bookmap a lot, and so this
Yeah,
one's been
thank you,
running
Lifer,
all
for
day.
introducing us to that.
Yeah, it's really fun. So this is what bookmap looks like. I can't remember if we talked about it last episode a
We
lot,
did. We did.
but I'm really getting into it now. I've started doing some of the education on it. I need to do
Hmm.
more. um, it is not more powerful than patterns or RSIs.
No.
So it's not more powerful than that, but it does show you patterns and it does show you where the buy orders are. And unlike KuCoin, so this is the free option on here. Like, look at this right now. These lines that you see are 1 minute lines.
That's
I can
pretty cool.
see, I can see all the buys here, but wait, there's more. I can zoom in. I'm not even zoomed in.
Oh, nice.
So like, I don't even know how far this zooms in, but like, let's give it a second here as it re-updates. So right now, these are 30-second lines,
hmm
right? So look how fast it's kind of moving across my screen.
So what it's showing, if you're
Oh,
listening,
this is
and
15
appreciate you
seconds.
listening. Oh wow, that's even faster.
Yeah,
So it's showing where the orders are at in real time, so you can see if there's more buy pressure or more sell pressure and what's coming. So in conjunction with the patterns that we look at and the other things that we look at, it's an amazing tool, I would
right.
say.
Well, and so like if you look right over here, Kilted, you see this right side of my screen?
hmm
This is what it's done volume wise the entire time I've been on, which has been quite a while now, right? I think
Okay.
I let it run for a while. So you can see we're at the bottom of where all the trades have been all day
hmm
long, right? And so it kind of is giving you that heat signature. You can see volume right now is really low because the heat map is cold,
hmm
right? But you can see there's still trades going and things going on. Now, if I zoomed back, I think I'm zooming out now, and it might take it a minute to, did I zoom in or out?
Looks like you're zooming in.
Yeah, it's running really slow because we're online
Okay.
shooting episodes and doing all that. So I might have just broke the internet, you
Oh
know.
man,
That's the worst. But like you can see a heat map really good. If I pull it up, I
that's
think I'm
awesome.
zoomed the wrong way. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Right. But
Awesome. That's super cool. I
yeah.
like that. I like that program a lot, and I know that you're getting a lot from it. So,
Yeah. And I think there's more to gain. Like I'm learning so much when I did some of the learning things and like
hmm
I'm halfway through one of them and I had to stop for the day, but they've been pretty good.
well, that's what I was
Pretty
saying too. That might be a good tool for Kilted Balls LLC to use,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and a write off. So we might
And
want to
it'd be a
consider that.
write-off. We definitely
And
might.
part of the entrepreneurial advantage is that you do get write-offs for tools that you use for your business.
It's a
So,
great thing. That's part of why you own a business, right? Part
hmm
of why you own a business is to do all of the write-offs and to get
hmm
some of that money back that you're spending. Because you're spending all this money, it's nice to get some
Yep.
of that money back here and there, right?
So something we forgot to talk about last week, and I want to talk about real quick, Super Yeti Land.
Oh yeah, Super Yeti
We
Land.
forgot
Woo!
all about it.
Oh my
One
gosh.
of our favorite projects and one that we've both been in for a long, long time. They did
Yep.
a land drop. Now, I haven't been paying attention. I don't know the like how the land is going to be used or anything like that. Have you heard any of that?
Yeah, so like the land, oh my, it's been a little bit. I'd have to reread it, but basically there's a game, Yeti Bomber, right?
Okay. Oh, is it associated with Yeti Bomber?
Yes, and so
Okay.
those resources in your land translate into Yeti Bomber.
Okay.
So like you can like what's I don't know what the how they translate off the top of my head, but you know like
Starship Enterprise.
well I'm thinking more like if you think of Bomberman or whatever, you know how you get like
hmm
power-ups and stuff,
Yeah. Oh,
like
okay.
like these would help you like mine to get better things, to do more stuff.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that there's a lot more to come, and so, I wasn't really that worried about it, but for every Yeti and Snow Demon, it was a free drop, and then it
Yeah.
was discounted for Yeti owners, and then, it even wasn't too bad for the normies if you didn't have a Super Yeti. But
Yeah.
another NFT news, which we haven't talked about too much, we haven't had a lot
No.
of exciting NFT stuff. So I thought for sure there was a scam going on because I opened up my here. Can I screen share?
Yes, you should be able to. If you can't, let me know and I can
Let's
change it.
see.
Let me do this and make sure. Boop.
Oh, share screen, that green button right
Got a
there.
green button that says share screen. Are you good to share?
Yep, I clicked that. Let's go right here. So if you're looking,
I don't know if it did it yet.
yeah, I still have
There
to
it
click
is. There
one
it
more button. See this optimistic otter lava iconics one of one?
is. Yeah, V
Defense.
friends.
I was gonna hide it for sure. But
Yeah.
then I did notice that little blue check mark. We're just looking at OpenSea here.
Yes.
It's easy to see. And so I was like, what is going on? Like that seemed weird that there was a blue check mark if it was a scam.
Right.
And
Right. For
so
sure.
and again being out of the loop a little bit, just life has been a little crazy. I went to the VFriends Discord and yeah, it's legit. So the I guess an artist, and I can't remember where the artist is from, like what project or whatever. I guess it's very like if you know the artist, like this, you'd be able to name this because it looks like their work.
Okay.
But yeah, did that for all the 101s from the first VFriends and airdropped them to everybody. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's super cool. What a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how freaking cool is
Point
that?
8 floor. I don't know who's
Hard to beat a .8 floor.
I don't know who's selling their stuff, but apparently, oh look, there's some lavas here for sale. And so it's and the mix is kind of in between the series one and the series two. Like they're not exactly like the series two cartoony, but they're definitely more cartoony than the first ones.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
yeah,
for sure. That is kind of cool.
yeah,
What's the
I thought that
and the
was super awesome.
volume is big, right? They've done 47 million or 47 Ethereum. Woo.
47 ETH,
Sorry.
yep.
That's kind of huge.
So let's see. Since we're here, might as well look. Okay, a lot are selling for under than that. Bubblegum Forever Phoenix sold for 1.59. Someone got a killer deal on that.
Yeah, they're going pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Optimistic Otter Bubblegum. One.
One. $1,600. By the way, I know this is interrupting you, but I can't
No, no.
I can't help it. So my Bitcoin is still on my other screen, right?
Oh yeah. Did you get your money?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked. So people, this is the fun thing about heat map. I'm zoomed way out, so every bar is 15 minutes. But you see what it's doing? So for those of you who are not looking at my screen, Bitcoin is dumping hard, and Kilted, right before we started the episode, almost took a long,
Yeah.
and it just dumped hard. So good karma to you, Kilted, for not
Yeah.
taking that long, because that look at that thing is bottoming out.
Well, the 1 minute did go up while we were talking,
Boom!
but
I'm at
nothing happened.
16.9%.
Nice. I love it.
It was super high. I was down like negative 21 when I looked last,
Hmm.
and now we're at 17% profit. So yay me, people. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to set a stop loss right now for now it's at 18%. So I'm going to set a stop loss. I want to say at, oh, I'm at 20% now, right? So this is one of the tricks that Kilted and I kind of think is a good idea is you put your stop losses and chase it
Hmm.
from there. So
That
right
happened to me
now,
the other day. I was
yeah,
chasing it all the way up and I finally got 20. I was like, okay, sweet.
right. So like right now, the last price, the market price is 1,00453.
Bitcoin's dipping again.
Oh no, this one just went back up.
Oh, okay. Why
I'm
don't
at
we live stream? This
I'm
would
at
be
like
exciting.
10% right now. Now it's at 3%. That stupid thing went back up. So Bitcoin's still dropping. So I think this is gonna dump again.
So you didn't get your 20%? You're too busy.
No, like I was trying to do my stop loss and it went all the way back up. Stupid
So
thing.
funny.
Right? So we turn over and it's 20%. I'm like, yes, it's 20%. And instead of clicking market sell, I'm like, oh, I'll do my take profit and chase it. And see, that's what happens, people. You try to freaking chase sometimes,
Hmm.
and now it like jumped. So it's
But
in the
what would have happened? It came back so fast, it would have sold it at a loss
it would have
because it would
sold
have
it then.
sent in the sell,
Yes, you're right.
possibly.
You're right. And
So
it's already at 10%. So you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna wait it out a little bit longer. But
yeah, the
yes.
one the 1 minute is low. It's just riding across for Bitcoin.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and it
not
stopped
gonna fall.
dropping. Like it stopped dropping on here too. So that's the other thing, people. You can like look at this and be like, oh yeah, it's not going. It's stabilized for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
But by the way, huge offers to buy at 21,000 on Bitcoin right now. Huge.
Okay.
Like here, I'll share that screen again.
Yeah.
And this is probably more for Kilted because it's live action people. But
It's
you
still
know,
cool. They can see it. And if you go to Lifers, did you go to his did you go to
so I didn't
Twitter?
go
Because
to
you get a coupon code.
the thing was is you get a thing and I don't remember where it is, but only if you're buying it, and I wasn't buying it.
Okay.
So if you're looking, here's what we're talking about. Look down here. You see how red this is?
Oh
So
yeah.
this person, all this time, they have this offering right here. Do you see how high it is?
Mm-hmm.
Like they want 313 Bitcoins for 21,000.
Can you scroll down more, or it just has to show that
No, I
range?
can't do it. Oh, I can change the range. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you see like how many buy orders are in at like 10,000?
There is a limit. Let me.
Okay.
Oh shoot. I
Because
think
a lot of
I
people,
think it's freaking
okay,
out because
that's
I'm just
totally
doing
fine. I
too
just hear a lot
much.
of people talking about putting their buy orders in at 10K 10K.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's kind of like what that's doing. And so anyway, oh, now it changed. So now that I left it, it changed.
Mm-hmm.
So 29, there's a lot, and I've got my screen all the way down to 2550. Not a
Okay.
lot of action down there. But so
Yeah.
like if you were like seeing it, it says all the action is down there. And that makes me think that, if you're trying to sell and you're saying, no, pay me 21.5,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody else is saying, listen, we'll pay you 2100, you're going to have to drop your price for people to buy it,
Yeah.
right? So if you're wanting them to buy, you're going to have to drop. And so we're going to get a little bit lower action. This is kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Um, talk to one of the guys from All In.
Mm-hmm.
You remember? So All In is one of our friend podcasts that we really like. And I was talking about the drivers
Mm-hmm.
NFT, and I was laughing about how I was out. And he actually, we talked about a couple different projects that are just super cool. Like it was really exciting. Like it
Mm-hmm.
totally got me geeked about NFTs and like different groups of NFTs. Like, we never get on Dapper, and we
Mm-mm.
sometimes get on what's the one with the college cards that we did a lot of last year?
Candy
Candy,
Digital.
right? We're not getting on those a lot,
Mm-hmm.
Bitsky. So I was like, maybe we need to look at those more. Maybe we need to look at Solana more. But
Mm-hmm.
there was some like good action. And he was like talking about one where he got a drop and then he got a bigger drop and a bigger drop. And it was just like
Good for
awesome.
him.
The other thing that was really cool talking to him is he was wearing his Jason non-code duck shirt.
Oh, was he?
I
That's
don't think anybody
awesome.
else knew that's what he was wearing, but
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, and I just got a message on Discord from the Duck Master, but I was like, oh, I'm like, you like the ducks? He's like, I've got like 30 ducks. I'm like, oh my gosh. I go, all I have is a hell duck. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, oh no, I love it. He goes, it's seriously one of the best communities ever. He
Yeah.
he goes, it's amazing. And he goes, and I've gotten so many cool things from them. Like they just give and give, and the games are fun. And like
That's
he was
cool.
super geeky. He's like, you've got to do more on their Discord. And I told him, I'm like, Jer has like a ton of ducks,
Mm-hmm.
tons of ducks. And I
Hell
go, like,
ducks.
they were talking about how he was like a whale buying all these ducks. He's like, I don't ever see him on the Discord. I'm like, he's a lurker.
Mm-hmm. I am.
I go, he doesn't like get on there doing stuff.
I
So
need to get better at that.
it was super funny. But yeah, so it's nice making those connections, which I think is a big part of NFTs. You get to make some
Yes,
really cool
exactly.
connections with people.
Exactly.
So, I think that's nice. Also people, I'm at 14% again. So I'm feeling
So
good.
rather than selling at 20 and then buying back in when you're at minus 10 and getting another 20,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
right.
waiting.
Right. No. And it just dropped a little bit more, so then it was like 12%. So, who
It's
knows
so
what it's
fast.
gonna
You're
do.
gonna have to get out just right.
That's, it's so tricky if you're doing
Mm-hmm.
big volume on these little guys.
Yeah.
But, I think you wait until like, so right now it just turned red. And
Mm-hmm.
so the future will be just a little itty bit behind it
Mm-hmm.
or ahead of it. And so, that's why it's important, I think, to just set your take profit and it'll hit and go, and you freaking call it good, right?
Yep,
Like just
exactly.
in this time that we're talking, it went to 7%. So it went
Mm-hmm.
from 14 to 7 like that because it takes like no change at all.
Yeah. So
Deep,
by the time you would have clicked it and then typed in your trading password,
yes, it would have
you would have
already
been
went
done.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You got to wait till you like see it curling down like on your 1 minute,
Mm-hmm.
and then, then you're good. Right.
You're like, okay.
Then you're like,
Yep,
yeah, yeah. Then
exactly.
you're like, okay, now I'm okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
The 1 minute for Bitcoin is now going up, but the 15-minute hasn't curled yet.
okay. Well, and this brings up one of our rules. So if we ever allow people to view our trading Discord, which is, its own channels in our Kilted Balls Discord, and if you want to come to Kilted Balls Discord, feel free. We chat in
Mm-hmm.
there a little bit, and the more people, the merrier.
I like to be a
Um,
lurker.
yeah, he's a lurker in there too. But if you're in the if we some reason decided to let you have access to our trading area, we have rules. And one of our rules, like what you're seeing right now, is you have to be patient. You got to
Mm-hmm.
be patient. You got to know what you're trying to do, and you got to just chill. Like, I could have taken that 7% and maybe I should have. But, again, I could have clicked it and it could have dropped to 2. Like it's at 2 right now. And it could have
Mm-hmm.
dropped to that 2. And instead of getting 15, I would have gotten 2 and been
Yeah, exactly.
super bitter. So
Mm-hmm.
you take a deep breath, you be patient, you count on your stop losses and take profits doing what they're supposed to do. And you just kind of, you breathe, right?
Exactly.
So kind of is what it is, peeps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, on my home front, um, I I'm officially overqualified. They can't afford to pay me. And I was like, why don't you pay me like a normal person? But I decided today I'm not going to ask about it. I mean, I was just giving him a hard time today because I went in. I said, don't forget, you only get me 3 days a week. I'm not like committing to anything. And he's like, what 3 days? I'm like, I don't care. Whatever 3 days you need me that week.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I decided I'm not because it might just not be meant to be as far as working there and being there,
Yes.
as far as other stuff. Because sometimes when you force something and it may end up working out like you want it, but then you realize later it was not a great idea. So it
Yeah.
could just be that. I did pick up a 6 line rest today, so I'm excited about that. Do a video
How many fish domiciles do you have
at home or at the warehouse
all together?
all together. 40.
Okay, I was thinking it was going to be more.
Yeah, well, there's only two at the warehouse.
Right.
But
But they're
there's, but
pools,
there's,
right?
there's 6 pools set up, but only two have fish in them.
Okay.
So the other 38 are at home.
I mean, that's not many. I mean, I'm sure lots of people have 38 tanks. If you're a person who has 38 aquariums in your home, reach out to us, and we can start a therapy session for you and Kilted.
There's an official term for it. It's called multiple tank syndrome.
Of course there is. Multiple tank syndrome. Yep, yep. Like I want to be living in an aquarium, so I'm just going to keep adding aquariums until every room in my house is an
We
aquarium.
got so this last weekend, we got a 40-gallon tank. It had 4 fish in it, and I just put those fish in my 55-gallon. It had like plants and the heaters and everything else. Like we could have left the tank set up. The people just wanted to get rid of it for $50.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I can't decide
Did you
if
dicker with them?
no. It was actually a nice shape. Sometimes when you get used stuff, you have to clean a bunch of it, but this was in
Yeah.
really nice shape. But I can't decide if we're gonna put clownfish in there and let them possibly breed and have another fun saltwater tank, or maybe put some discus in there or some of our angelfish. I don't know to breed
Well,
at the
somebody
warehouse.
asked me, I forget who it was, But someone asked, how long does it take you to clean all those tanks?
If we did it all at once, it'd probably take like 4 hours. But
Okay.
usually we do the downstairs, then the next day we'll do the upstairs.
And so you don't clean them. I was thinking like every day you probably spend an hour cleaning, but it's
No,
like 2 hours a, each day for a couple days, and then how many more days till you
every
clean
other
again?
we're on an every other week schedule
Oh,
because
that's not bad.
our tanks are so heavily planted. Like we're fine doing every other week. Like we
Okay.
probably could push it to 3, although like the angelfish need to be changed more, my discus need to be changed more. So we just, I'll just do those real quick.
Right,
But
right,
yeah, for like to do everybody, and we're getting it figured out. We're like, because you can unplug and like vacuum everybody and then go through and fill everybody up, rather than
right.
we would vacuum and then fill that one, and then the vacuum and fill. So, like I would just watch people at the stores, and that's what they'll do at the store. They'll do like a whole wall, and then they'll come back and fill them all up. So it's like, oh, why don't we do the same thing?
So you vacuum it, vacuum, 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 and then fill,
Vacuum
fill,
gravel,
fill.
yeah.
Okay.
Wash it,
Yep.
wash the glass and everything.
Okay.
And
Well,
it's two of us.
two of you. So really, it's 4 man hours every 2 days of 4 man hours every
Hmm.
2 weeks.
Hmm.
I actually thought it would be way worse
No, it's not bad.
because I think it takes me when I clean a tank like an hour to clean one tank. So I'm like, if he has
It's
40 tanks, that's like a full-time job to clean those tanks.
I have a tank that takes an hour to clean. We don't use it.
Why does it take so long?
It's a beta. It's a small beta tank, so it's actually one of our smallest tanks. That's why we don't use it. So it's got like two little sections,
Hmm.
and a beta goes in one side and a beta goes in the other, and then it's got like a little waterfall. But just like to get the hose in there and clean it out, and just like it just doesn't clean very well.
Well, and this is why I can't really have fish because I don't think I would ever clean their tanks. I mean, I've had fish and I never cleaned their tanks. Ertl, I think, got cleaned like twice.
Uh-huh,
So,
ever.
yeah,
Well,
ever.
you could my lights out right now. I'll have to maybe do a video on it, but it's so heavily planted that the plants are taking care of the nitrates. And so I just add water to it. Like all my levels are totally fine. So just the
Okay.
filter and the plants, all I do is add water.
That's what I want right there. That's what I want. Just adding
Took a
water.
while to get there.
But now it's there, so you can just ship it up,
I know.
right?
It's a little heavy.
$40, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
$40. Sweet. Well, we should probably kind of wrap this episode up. Yeah.
Hmm.
It seems like
We
it's
ended on some strong tank talk, so
strong tank
we,
talk talking about our fish.
hmm
Yeah. Nope, I think that's a good spot.
hmm
Thank you so much, people, for joining us. I'll let you know if you're wondering, if you're curious about my trade for the night, it's at 17%. I'm just going to hit market right now. It's at
hmm
17.32. Clicking it.
Bitcoin wicked to 21,170.
And if you want to know what the profit was, so it was at 17%, and it looks like it probably went about 10%.
Okay.
So it
So it
dropped
moved
down.
7% that quickly.
Right, right. But here's the thing people have to, I think it's always good to remember. So I probably only made 10%. I made that 10% in the time we did this broadcast.
Hmm. Which is
So,
pretty awesome.
I mean, I can't be sad about making 10% on my money while we did a broadcast.
Hmm.
So, whoop whoop. Thanks for being with us for that. That was super exciting watching it go up and down, but that's how
Yes.
futures work and you can't panic and be patient and you take the money and run. So when you can get it, you take it and you go. So
Hmm.
anyway, this is Ballbuster signing off.
Kilted Dragon Jerry, love you all.